Now for chapter 18, laws against sexual immorality. Very controversial in today's society, as society has become so accepting of just anything goes. I'm just going to be giving a brief summary of all of these that's gone over, and then I'll allow the text and audio to play after this short study right here. But let's go over all of these, really, that it's bringing up. Number 1, it goes over incest. Number 2, adultery, idolatry, as sexual immorality was mingled with that of idolatry, homosexuality, and bestiality. While obedience to God's law is not the basis of our right standing before Him, it's through the blood of Christ. The principles of the law remain useful. One important use of the law is to be something of a guardrail for humanity, as we see right here, showing us the heart and desire of God for humanity in general and His people in particular. Let's first go over some very practical reasons why incest is bad. And this is incest of every kind, be it with your grandma, your sister-in-law, any kind. Now, as of today, the highest local rates of inbreeding are found in Brazil, Japan, India, and Israel. Just some of the side effects of an incestuous relationship and the offspring that it produces include an increased risk of infertility, miscarriage, cleft palates, heart conditions, facial asymmetry, low birth weight, slow growth rate, and neonatal mortality, scoliosis, dwarfism, all of these. Now, number 2, adultery, commanded against. This is an echo of the 7th commandment, found in Exodus 20:14. We see the act itself is condemned, and there is no justification allowed under the ways people often seek to justify adultery. Notice how the language of these things have been softened up. It's no longer adultery, it's an affair. It's like an event or something that someone has. See, everything's softened. And right here is a graph of the world's most adulterous countries, at least those in whom admit to committing adultery. Thailand, 56% of married adults have admitted having an affair. Denmark, Germany, Italy, France, so on and so on. And in case you haven't noticed today, the sacredness of marriage has just been almost completely tossed out the window, and divorce rates are through the roof. What are the most common causes for divorce? Infidelity, adultery, money will also be right up there at the top, but most of the time it is adultery. Now, number 3 is idolatry. And Ricker commented at this point, noting that the context deals with sexual activity, many scholars have advocated a position reflected in Jewish tradition that what is involved here in Leviticus 18, whenever it's mentioning the worship of Moloch and so on, that what is involved here is Jewish parents offering their children to Moloch to grow up as temple prostitutes. Probably a common practice for the pagans back then. If you'll notice Hannah, how she dedicates Samuel to the Lord. He'll forever be a prophet, a preacher, an evangelist, all of this. Well, on the reverse side, the pagan families would dedicate their children to their false gods, but it would always be for some lewd thing or whatever. This may be an attempt, however, to avoid the utter horror of what seems to be the face value reading of the text, since it is well known that the worship of Moloch involved human sacrifice. Now for number 4, homosexuality, strictly forbidden in Scripture. And there are plenty of reasons not to engage in homosexuality. According to CDC.gov, sexually transmitted diseases have been rising among gay and bisexual men, with increases in syphilis being seen across the country. In 2014, gay, bisexual, and other men who have sex with men accounted for 83% primary and secondary syphilis cases where sex of sex partner was known in the United States. Now here's a graph from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. New HIV diagnosis for most affected populations in 2017. If you'll notice, the heterosexual men and women as well are right here. Heterosexual. Above here, homosexual. And last but not least, bestiality, that is, sex with an animal, strictly forbidden. Now, just what are the health risks of bestiality? Leptospirosis, any contact with the sexual organs of dogs, cattle, pigs, horses, and sheep can transmit this bacterial disease to humans. Leptospirosis can cause meningitis, which leads to death in about 10% of the cases. And there's also these cases of parasitic worms from the feces of dogs, cats, and sheep, which can cause such a disease.
Chapter 18. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Ye shall do my judgments, and keep mine ordinances, to walk therein. I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the Lord. None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him, to uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord. The nakedness of thy father, or the nakedness of thy mother, shalt thou not uncover. She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of thy father's wife shalt thou not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness. The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, or daughter of thy mother, whether she be born at home or born abroad, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. The nakedness of thy son's daughter, or of thy daughter's daughter, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover, for theirs is thine own nakedness. The nakedness of thy father's wife's daughter, begotten of thy father, she is thy sister, thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's sister, she is thy father's near kinswoman. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, for she is thy mother's near kinswoman. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother. Thou shalt not approach to his wife, she is thine aunt. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy daughter-in-law, she is thy son's wife. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy brother's wife, it is thy brother's nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter, neither shalt thou take her son's daughter, or her daughter's daughter, to uncover her nakedness, for they are her near kinswomen, it is wickedness. Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness, beside the other in her lifetime. Also thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness, as long as she is put apart for her uncleanness. Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife, to defile thyself with her. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. Thou shalt not lie with mankind, as with womankind. It is abomination. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith, neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion. Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you, and the land is defiled. Therefore I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it, and the land itself vomiteth out her inhabitants. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourneth among you. For all these abominations have the men of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled. That the land spew not you out also, when ye defile it, as it spewed out the nations that were before you. For whosoever shall commit any of these abominations, even the souls that commit them shall be cut off from among their people. Therefore shall ye keep mine ordinance, that ye commit not any one of these abominable customs, which were committed before you, and that ye defile not yourselves therein. I am the Lord your God.